Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Medium by Design. I hope you enjoyed the Richard Simmons message. That was quite funny and uplifting. Today, I'm going to share from the Council of Nine. Now, you're going to laugh at the beginning what they said. I did not expect this. I have seen other people with channeled messages from them, and I rolled my eyes and thought, oh, not another council. But actually, I love this message. It's really, really insightful, and it's deep. As you know, I love deep, even though Richard Simmons is not as deep as most of the people that I connect with and these beings that I connect with. So I'm just going to get into it, and then feel free to share in the comments if it touched you as deep as it touched me. We know you haven't wanted to add another council to your list of those you receive, but we have stepped up our presence, as you can see on your internet. We have been sharing more openly in recent weeks because of the level of intensity rising, especially in the US, Britain, and a couple of other countries. It is important to realize that not everyone in the world is having the same experience, nor is connected to the energies that your country is presently experiencing. Each country will have its own unique experience in direct relation to the level of control and abuse of its citizens. The more a government has been acting against its citizens, the more change will need to occur. It really is that simple. What is happening in the US is nothing short of a miracle. Having more people understanding the lies and charade of so-called officials is having a direct effect on how engaged people will be in those areas. The first reaction is sarcasm and, for some, intense anger. This will continue to build for the rest of this year. You, however, will remain on this quiet, slow crawl trajectory and will enjoy whatever you engage. It might not be as exciting as you are anticipating, but it will be free of dramas, attacks, and problems of any kind. And those of you who know what I went through the last 2 years with my health and my near-death experience know that I pretty much have had it with drama and intensity, right? Enjoy this time as it is exactly what the doctor ordered. Keep working with the mind, clearing and resting, in order to reorganize the brain waves and patterns to function at a much higher level than you are used to. You can see this in your inability to react, respond, or engage when you feel nothing about a topic, a situation, or person. We hope you can experience the freedom of this new reality. It is nothing short of a mini miracle for you to break so many of the family ancestral programmed responses and be able to come to a situation clear, ready, and open for the best experience possible. So you see, the inner work is very, very important, and the releasing of all your programmed responses and lower emotions, it's very important. So when you feel the wave, look at it as energy. Oh, I'm feeling this intense, disgusting, maybe, wave of energy. But the reason you're feeling it is to release it. It's not to go on the attack and go hurt someone else or abuse someone else. It's to realize the energy is coming through your body. And the light that is coming right behind it wants to occupy that space. And if you can think in those terms, it might help us more to get through our own waves of discomfort. As for the rest of this year and next, continue to watch the show. Try to bring humor to all those you come in contact, especially those that are over-concerned in areas that don't even affect them. Help them disconnect from what they once thought was important, help them to get off the throne of self-importance and ego-driven action. What people need most is to be more gentle with themselves and release the need for being needed, and be okay with the fact that if they don't do it, someone else will. By allowing themselves to be unburdened, they can open up to other possibilities that had no room to get to them. This may take a few ways of explaining, but the right wording will come to you. As you get into next year, expect some progress with your physical body as you re-enter some level of physical activity you enjoy and brings you wanted and needed results. The era of couch potato is finally coming to an end. We would like to explain further why many of your friends had to leave your life. This is very interesting. Now, all through this last 4-year period, I cannot tell you, it was even more than 4 years, the people that left my life. Now, I've mentioned this on other videos, but I love how they explain this energetically. So if you're going through many losses, this piece might be for you. As you see, many people are full of agendas and need their lives full of activities, whether productive or not. Many need stimulation on a constant basis. This lifestyle would have been extremely harmful for you to continue. When you received the rest message ongoing for the last few years, it was not given to you lightly. Hence the repeating of it over and over again. We know you got tired of hearing it, but there were reasons, some known to you and many not accessible with your conscious mind. Allowing yourself to veg out is and was the only way to integrate these energies, downloads, and codes. The physical results of this period can be seen most obviously in your groups. The flow of information is much more fluid and entails receiving information not only tailored for the individual, but reaching levels most would never have received before. Talking about the soul's history, memory, and past lives, and connecting it to the behavior and life experience the person is having presently brings a fresh, clear, and concise level of information that can be assimilated and used for healing immediately if the individual can receive and use it appropriately. Marilyn is currently your best example because of her own soul's wisdom, readiness, and even impatience. Her impatience gives her an eagerness and openness to get things going. This assists in her ability to receive far beyond most. Marilyn is someone I met recently that does show up for the group. She's an amazing, amazing woman, very high energy, a very, very bright light. We give you this information so you can truly appreciate that even this seemingly small level of work you are involved is not small at all. The people attending are receiving at levels they cannot fully understand, but are benefiting from. Whether they realize it or not, they are beyond most on their evolutionary path and are ready to reach a new height. Keep it going. And I hope anybody that does come to my groups that hears this knows how important you are to the group and that your soul has led you to these groups and you are evolving. And we can see that. We see it at every group. I want to expand on the past life thing. I've heard some people say flippant remarks that we don't need to look at past lives. There's no reason to do that anymore. There's no significance there. You don't need it. You don't. And I really have to tell you, I'm very tired of listening to people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And there's a lot of them on the internet. They are coming from the point of consciousness that they believe they know, but there's parts that we all don't know. Even me, I know to a certain point, and then I keep getting more downloads and information. Excuse me, sorry I hit the camera. But this thing about past lives, we had two distinctive people that I have known for a while, and they had a very emotional response in one of the groups. It was a full moon group, so the emotions, are generally higher during full moons. One has a major issue in learning to love herself. Now, there may be many of you out there that have the same problem. Learning to love yourself, take the breaks, do the rest, take a beautiful bath with candles, do anything for yourself, eat properly, whatever self-love tasks you are not doing for yourself, okay? She is a workhorse. She is an amazing, powerful woman. Incredible. However, she does not do enough really for herself on the deeper levels. She does not feel the love. She doesn't experience love. She doesn't really know what love is, right? So in her case, I asked Spirit, I asked the Akashic records to be opened to show me where the root, what lifetime, what timeline is the root of that problem. It turned out that her soul had a memory of being one of the pioneers in the US to travel across the country in the covered wagons with the horses, and she was one of the walkers. When I say walkers, there were not enough horses, not enough covered wagons for everybody that crossed the country. Some people had to walk, and many of them died. I did not know this. I don't remember studying this. Maybe I did in grammar school. I don't know. But the vision, what happens in these groups and in private readings, the vision comes so clear to why the person is carrying that energy now. And we see this in the world. Everything you're concerned about in the world is a repeat of some bullshit that those souls did before. And they want to do it again. And they just want to keep repeating the same behavior because they're not evolving. They're stuck in the reincarnation loop doing the same shit with the same people all over again. However, it's not always that way. Many of us come and we meet the same souls to continue a work that we committed to previously. Okay? So now she gets this clear message about sacrificing her life for the collective that she was part of to get across the country. And her physical body failed in that lifetime. So what's happening now? What's the overlap now? Her physical body is failing. There are pains, there's aches, there's just constant things that need attention, and she's not getting results. She's not getting results losing weight. She's not getting any results at all. So when that vision comes from the soul's memory, we have to consciously let that go. That sacrificial time, in her case, it's different for every past life. That sacrificial time needs to be let go of and realize I do not have to be that person again. It's not necessary. I came here to do different work, to help a different collective of people, and there's no sacrifice needed. But that has to be downloaded. That bright light truth has to be downloaded into the cells of the body and push out that negative self-concept. This is the mechanics of the energy that goes through our body, okay? So when you're going through these waves, realize they are waves. They're not a reality. They're not a reality you should be locked into. They are a passing energy trying to escape, trying to get through the body so you, as a human still living in a body, carrying some kind of light, can move on to the next chapter of your life, to the next experience, to the next soul group, okay? And I hear a lot of people talking about that, and I'm really happy to hear that because that's what we're attempting to do, okay? The second person, I'm going to give you the second example. The second person, it was this, the last full moon group was on a Sunday. It was during the day. When I have a group that falls on a weekend, we can do daytime. During the week, it's usually at night. So she gets a text from her job, and there's a crisis. So she immediately goes into automatic reaction. She's really upset. She can't stand the energy. They don't know what the hell they're doing, and she's all upset about that. So I said, all right, let's take a break. Let's take a breath. Let's go back to the origin of why you feel so responsible for all these souls. Because that's what was coming out. This need, I'm the only one that can do it. I'm the only one that can solve these problems. I'm the only one that can save them from themselves. Can you hear the driven ego energy in that? I'm the only one. I'm it. I'm that. I'm so, important in this situation. If I don't do it, no one's going to do it. These are the phrases that come out, okay? So now we go back to the Akashic records and we look at the past lives. And what we find is that she was a general and she lost all her young men. All the men under her leadership died. So that memory of guilt, of loss of all those soldiers was in her psyche. So it's not always childhood, although it very well could be. It goes beyond, because the soul's memories never disappear. And the thing, when you've heard people say the soul has a soul contract and it comes back to do certain things, there's a lot of truth in that, although I have another message coming up that defines soul contracts. It's very, very interesting. And it's going to get us off the hook of this self-importance thing even further than this particular message. So now she understands on some level now, because I spoke the truth of her soul's memory. Now her psyche and her body get to engage with that past life energy and help release that energy and let that go and get the self that's living in this timeline off that heavy, heavy responsibility. And this is different from a calling. If you have a calling on your life, like I do, you know when you need to do something. And it can be draining, it can be difficult, but that is a different feeling than operating from past life memories. There's a very, very different energy there. And usually it isn't draining. When I get a calling now, as opposed to 20 years ago, it's much more uplifting now, because the spiritual energy is stronger to be received, to help us feel supported to go in that direction, to do that thing. It was always there. I have beautiful stories about feeling supported to do things that I never, ever would have done on my own. And I always teach about that, how the ego mind has its desires and what it wants to accomplish, and the soul agenda can be completely different. That's why you find yourself during life crises where you have to change direction and you don't even know why, and you don't want to. You don't want to change direction, but you have to. And if you get into astrology, I've been a master astrologer for 3 decades. If you look at astrology and get the insight of how your soul is maneuvering through this timeline, then you get even more insights. It's another language. It's another way to receive more insights. So no matter how you receive your insights, there are many paths. And whatever works for you is exactly what we should be using today. And that's what I do. That's why I do all these channelings, because there's a lot of insight there that helps me get through these waves and clear these things and start to understand my soul is doing a lot of work for my evolutionary benefit. And your soul might be doing just the same thing in a different way. So I hope this touched you deeply. If you want to contact me, my email is in the click on the more under this video, and you can consider doing a group in your area via online, or if you need a private session, that would be fine. Whatever you're moved, if you want to share a story and you want me to include it in a video, if you have a really, really good story about how spirit, your soul, interacted in your physical life and guided you through something, those stories are always, always wonderful and very important to share. So if anything touched you, feel free to go to the comments, share something amazing, start a little community with talking to people, email me if you like. But above all, I want to tell you, I really, really appreciate you watching the video all the way through, pressing the like button if you were touched deeply, subscribing if you love what I do and you want more, and doing anything you can to be supportive. As you know, people that are on YouTube or some of these other media outlets, they do not get supported from this outlet until they reach a certain plateau. Now, I've been on here almost 4 years now, I believe, and there is nothing coming back at this moment. So just so you know, this is all for you. These messages I write, I receive for myself, and then I share them with you. So anything you want to do to be supportive is very, very accepted. And I love that you continue to show up, and I especially am touched by anyone who subscribed in the last year or so when I was down and I couldn't produce videos. I couldn't do this because there was no calling on me because I had to focus on my healing. So I really appreciate you guys for continuing to subscribe. And that's another thing. You can always share a video, and if somebody else likes it, they can follow through. And that's how this all works, folks. I can't do and be anything worthwhile without people. It's all about us touching people in whatever we're doing in our lives. It's so, so important. And I think the gratitude of that was stepped up through the near-death and the heart experience. I think I actually feel, I always felt a lot, but I think I actually feel more now. So with that, I hope you have a very blessed day. I hope this information touched you deeply. And stay tuned because there is more to come on The Medium by Design.